Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. I'm here with the progress report on my Junk Journal Challenge, Facebook challenge for the Dear Julie Julie's challenge to make a journal out of trash. So where I'm at is I wasn't sure in my video showing what I was using, what direction I was going to go into, or what kind of journal I was going to create. But I went ahead and decided to do a magazine journal. So I've got my pages done, my cover done, and I'm ready to sew in the pages. So I wanted to go ahead and just do this video so I could go ahead and finish, because I kind of promised that I would show you before I sewed in my pages. So I've got a cover from a Country Living magazine that I was getting ready to throw out. I actually got two of these magazines, so one was definitely going into the trash because I don't need two of them. And like I mentioned, I don't keep my magazines because I don't like clutter. So I like the cover on this one. I like the cover. You know, this isn't a cover that I would probably normally pick for a magazine journal. I would pick something a little more, I don't know, decorative. But since it's a, you know, a trash to journal type challenge, I went ahead and picked this because this is something that, you know, I would probably get thrown out. I wouldn't make a journal out of it. But saying that, I still think it's very pretty. I like the green lettering and the green oven here, retro oven. So I would like the look of this. Anyway, even though it was something that I wouldn't normally make a journal out of, and I think it's turning out really cool. I zigzag stitched a piece of file folder onto the back because I wanted to give it strength. And so it made it nice and sturdy, you know, cardstock type file folder. And it's, I also put some pockets in. These are from an envelope that I showed in my video. That was my birthday envelope. So I cut some pieces off of that and made the pockets. And then I made the pages. And I wanted it to, I was kind of racking my brain because I wanted it to be pretty, even though it's made out of stuff that was going into the trash. So with that, I kind of just kept looking through everything that I had to use, trying to figure out how I could make it pretty. How can you make trash pretty? So this is what I came up with for the pages. I have a magazine page here that I liked. This is not something I would normally use in a normal magazine journal because it has all these prices on it. So I would pick something that was normally just a picture. So that's why that would have been trash. This is an envelope that I showed. It still had the stamps on it and this cool kind of large postmark here. So I thought that was cool. So I sewed those two pages together. I like to give my magazine pages, if I use them in a journal, some strength. Plus it gives you some writing room and room to add pictures and things. So as we move through, I used some pages from, this was from the Alaska calendar. This was the tracing paper that I showed. This was a bag that I showed that I got from a store. The outside was orange, this orangey kind of color with lines, and the inside was this craft color. This is from the Cat magazine. Cat magazine, Cat calendar. So I cut that down to fit as a page. Now this came out really cool. I had no idea I was going to do this, and I was actually looking through my envelopes, my, you know, kind of used envelopes that were going into the trash. And I was looking for an envelope. I was trying to figure out if there was one I could use for pockets or something. And then what I decided to do was, I like this particular pattern, the two, you know, your fingers do the walking yellow page type envelope that had this on the inside as a security envelope. This has a little window in it. anyway, so I just opened up the envelopes and turned them inside out basically and sewed them together. They're sewn all the way around here, and used it as kind of a, first of all, it gives it strength with the 2 layers, and it also kind of acts like a double-sided scrapbook paper, which I really love. I just, like I said, I had no idea I was going to do that, and then that's how that came about. So then I was looking through my book pages, because the problem with these book pages is I wouldn't normally use them in a journal, because I even tried some that I folded and they cracked right down the middle. So they're really old and brittle, so I was not planning on using them in a journal, and probably was going to, I don't know, it's hard to use them because you can't really use them for anything if they're going to crack and break when you try to fold them or even cut them. So this one, I looked through all of them that were getting ready to go in the trash. I did like the color, and it did not crack when I folded it, so I used this one in here. This was, I had a couple of plain pieces of paper that I received in the mail that were folded around checks that I showed in my video. So I coffee dyed those. We were allowed to coffee dye, and I got kind of a two-tone color because what I do when I coffee dye is I spread out a tablecloth and I let my papers dry there on a tablecloth. So there was some blue residue from previous blue dyeing that I had done. And so this paper actually got some blue on it too. So I thought that actually turned out pretty cool, kind of like coffee dyed with some blue on it, which I think is pretty. So again, here's another magazine page, and that I thought was pretty. It has milk on it, old-fashioned milk bottles. And then on this side, I had a big, like 9 by 10 envelope with security pattern inside, so I cut that open and cut this piece off and sewed it onto this magazine page. And then this is another piece of that bag, and I thought this was cool, Just Be, and I just thought that was really pretty, and with that color and the words, so I used that as a page. And then another piece of the coffee dyed paper that picked up colors from my tablecloth, and I picked up these blue and green colors, so I thought that came out really pretty. And this is that map that I showed that was just kind of an advertisement for the city, and this map was in there, and I used that as a page and sewed that onto a magazine page. And then this is a piece of that tracing paper that I couldn't use anywhere else. This is a piece of another piece of that was folded. This paper was folded and someone mailed their check in that. And then there are some pieces I cut out from the magazine. So this is sewn on pockets here. And then I sewed the little embellishments onto the pockets. Another brittle book page here. And then this also was the security envelope thing. When I did one page, I thought, well, let me look for some more of this pretty security envelope patterns that I can sew together as a page, and I found this I thought was really cool, and this was also really pretty. So that's another, like, it's sewn together, it's got the sturdiness, and kind of like came out like a double-sided scrapbook paper. This is that, the next page is that green and white envelope I had. I cut it down to size to fit, you know, as a page. And then I took a piece of that envelope that I had got travel guides in because it was strong and thick. So I wanted this piece to be strong and thick to support whatever you put behind it. It's a belly band. I sewed that on, and then took some more of that scrap from more of that coffee dye paper that I was using and cut it down to pieces as a little writing tablet here that's sewn on right here. This piece that I used to decorate was from the calendar. I believe that was from the cat calendar. I was just looking for a pretty piece of the cat calendar that kind of looked like, and you can see the calendar on this side, there's the cat's But I was looking for a pretty piece of paper that I could have put up here that looked like a strip of scrapbook paper, even though it was from that cat calendar. So, and I just sewed several pieces of the coffee dyed paper on there. This is another piece that was inside that I received a check in. I coffee dyed that, and this is how it came out. Kind of made the lines run, the blue lines that were in the notebook paper, and I thought that came out really cool and pretty. So that's that, and then we're almost to the middle here. Tracing paper, another piece of the cat calendar, and I did make side pockets on this one and sewed those down on both sides. And then this is a piece of a brown paper bag that I showed in my previous video. So I cut that apart, cut a piece down to size to fit in here as a page. I made 2 pockets and sewed them in. This orange is from, I think that's from the envelope, the birthday envelope. And this is from 2 kind of advertisements that I had received in the mail at work. And the word passport was on both of those, so I cut that out and put those right there. And that is, so next I'm going to sew these in and then start working on my embellishments and, you know, ephemera. And what was I going to say? Oh, so out of all the things that I've been looking through for my pages, as I've been looking through them, I have also been cutting out words to possibly use in here, because I think I like to use words as a journal prompt if you want to write in your journal, and you know, you put words here and there that kind of gives you a prompt to something you might want to write about, and I think that's just cool and fun. So that's where I'm at so far, and I'll do another one tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but whenever I guess I'll just finish it now, and then I'll do my final video. But in the meantime, if you have any questions about anything I did or used or where I got it or whatever, just put that in the comments, and I'll be glad to, you know, give further instructions on what I did or how I did it. So thank you for watching tonight, and I hope you all have a good night. See you next time. Bye-bye.